Does this eye look more red than this one? Yeah. I don't know what's going on, you guys. I think I have the flu. I really don't know. I don't know. This eye probably also looks a little bit weird because I was like crying a little bit, but like also not crying. Oh my god, that's not. I haven't made a YouTube video in so long, and I thought that I would make this because I was like, maybe I'll add it in there. Really, I don't freaking know. But I was like just thinking about how much I like selling products, but how much like I sell, you know, here and there. If it sounds loud, it's because it's lawn day, lawn care. I really enjoy selling products. Like, okay, I am an entrepreneur. I've pretty much been self-employed like my entire adulthood. And so that has looked like freelance work, or like product sales, or primarily private childcare. And my goal long term is to fully do not freelance work, but to fully do more remote entrepreneurial work, because private childcare, obviously I'm a contractor worker and I have to show up on a certain schedule, even though I like, it's an interesting self-employed situation because you're self-employed, but also you're on guidelines like a normal job. Does that make sense? Okay. Anyway, long term, I would like to be more on an entrepreneurial side of things and not just like self-employed entrepreneurship type of contract situation. Neither here nor there, because people always ask me like, what do you want to do with your degree? Which I think everybody gets that question, but I specifically majored in theology, and I'm currently getting my master's in biblical theology. So people always want to know, what do I want to do with that? I'm someone who has always been interested in the arts, acting, singing, things like that, and I wanted to do that when I was a child. And ministry, biblical, all of that never crossed my mind ever. Like actually ever. I did do public speaking growing up. When I was a young child, I did oratorical competitions and like won first place. And all of them when I was in elementary school. I did plays starting in 5th grade. Well, actually I did plays starting when I was in private school, maybe like 2nd grade. I've sang since I was 3. I just have always, like when I was in middle school, I think I got most likely to be famous or most talented. I can't remember which one, but I've always wanted to do movies, do music, and create something that the world would know about, right? And then I started doing business in 7th grade, my first business ever. Or I won't say business because I didn't have an LLC, but my first hustle was actually cupcakes. And I remember the first person who ever bought something from me, and her name was Janelle. So Janelle, if you ever come across my page, kisses, girl, kisses. And so I've always just wanted to own a business. I've really seriously worked on it probably since 2019. So we're looking at like 6 years, where I started with product sales. Like I said, I was doing public speaking. I was getting paid to do that eventually. And that's just been my thing. One of the things, like I said, I started with product sales. I was selling hoodies. And so now I kind of got back into product sales. I've been doing crew necks here and there, but it's not like before, you know, like I don't sell consistently. And I don't have the same amount of space that I used to have in my apartment back in Georgia. I had like an office, everything was set up. It was so nice. I ordered inventory up front, but then that means you have a lot of inventory on the back end, which is kind of sad, you know, when you don't sell it. So I fully moved to pre-orders, but I want to go back to buying inventory up front. I like packaging orders. I like getting orders. I like talking about it. I like getting on Instagram and saying like, I sold this and that today, and this is what's going on. This is my day. This is what I'm doing today. This is what I'm getting done. I liked all of that. And, you know, I just cried a little bit over here for a second because I was just like, yo, I like product sales. Like I actually do. And so I'm working on a new crew neck that I'm dropping, that I had already dropped, and then I deleted, and then I said I was going to re-drop it on Valentine's Day. And it's a pre-order crew neck, but really I'm thinking about just ordering some up front, depending on how much they cost once I get the quote back. But I've been working on the packaging for it, and I'm really excited. And I'm just like, I don't know, y'all. I just want to be in a place where I'm actually getting consistent sales. Cause I got actually really like it. Like, you know, I've been suggested like, oh, do Printful, do dropship, or not dropship, like just do the people who can make the stuff for you. But then I can't control what the packaging looks like. I don't get to put my own like letters in there. I don't get to write stuff. I like that, you know? And so even like as time goes on, if the Lord so has it, and my business, like, talk about, we're doing like hundreds of orders a week, you know, and I have other people that work for the company, I still want to keep those elements. Like, I would want to run our own like warehouse. I wouldn't want to go through another company unless that company was willing to do the same very much things. But I'd rather not. Like, I'd rather, you know, be able to employ people. And I know that that's not going to be the easiest thing ever, but I have this like, I don't know, like I have this deep desire in me to like create something, but it to be big. And I sometimes wonder, like, am I tripping? Am I just looking for something that's not there? But I've always felt this way. I've loved people like Tyler Perry, as it relates to just like what he's been able to do for people, the jobs he's been able to give people, the freedom of creativity that he has. And I think that whether you agree with a person's work or whatever it is that they do, and I'm not talking about just Tyler Perry, I can't really think of like, you know, I'm not really trying to even think of like other people right now. He's just somebody who I've watched a lot of his interviews, but for the caliber of what he's been able to do. And I have always dreamed of having this flexibility in this space, finances, to be able to work creatively toward the thing that I feel called to without there being restrictions in that way, right? Like creating the kind of films that I want to make. I want to make the Christian film industry so popular. Like, that's one of my big goals. I don't even know why. Like, well, one, because I think a lot of people do not watch Christian films, and a lot of Christian films don't get the like big budgets, you know. There is one Christian company, I love their movies, the brothers, I can't think of their names right now, but the brothers, the Warren, what, Ken, I don't know their names. They do all the movies, The Forge and all that. They be having a budget. I like their movies. But I actually watch a lot of the Christian movies that you'll see on like those apps, and their budgets aren't that big, but the messages are good. And I want to create Christian films for people who, you know, may not be Christian, right? So we might have to go a little bit more integral into the stories to really reach people beyond what we might typically see in the genre. But I personally really enjoy Christian films. One of my favorite Christian films actually is The Girl Who, the girl who believed. The Girl Who Believed. I can't think of it. Little Girl. It's a really good movie. It's a really good movie. But anyway, I ask myself a lot, or ask God a lot, you know, am I like being vain, or like being all these things, or like, how is this all gonna come together? Or just like, you know what I mean? Like I said, people ask me like, what do you want to do? And I'm always like, I mean, like, I want to do like, you know, biblical and that, but like I also want to be in entertainment, and but I want it all to, like, I want to be a personality. I want to have a talk show. Like, I literally just want to be able to do everything. And of course, there's people out there. We see people do it. You know, it's a thing. It's being done. But I've always wanted to have a talk show. I've always practiced being interviewed. Excuse me. I've always wanted to go on red carpets. It's so weird because only this eye is watering. I've always wanted to go on red carpets. And award shows. This is just all of, you know, I've always just wanted these things. I just have. And I know that's like not some people's desire, which is really crazy, because even though I've always wanted that, my life is so small town, even though I don't live in a small town, but my life is so small town. Like, I literally make homemade pasta, and I like to make bread, and I like to make butter, and I don't do it regularly, but I've pretty much made almost everything from scratch at least like once. I like am such a like non-homesteader. Like, my house decor is like giving country time. That's what I'm going for. It's old country, not too grandma, but you know, like giving grandma. Like, it's so small town at heart, but I want to do such big things. And yeah, I mean, maybe I'll put this on my YouTube channel. I don't know. Ciao. I just made this video just in case I decide to put it on my YouTube channel. Okay. Or on the YouTube. If I do put this on the YouTube, hey YouTube. I know I haven't posted in a long time. If this is going on the YouTube, I know I haven't posted in a long time. I actually was on a fast, and I was not doing social media during that time. Like, no social media. And then I didn't get back on social media until the beginning of the year, and then I just haven't got back on YouTube. So forgive me, okay? This is probably nasty, huh? Yeah. But okay. All right. God be good to ya.